So hi everyone. So today I'm going to do a recap of what we actually discussed in our math seminar on yesterday. So on yesterday we talked about two concepts. One was combining like terms, and the other one was using the distributive property to simplify expressions. So oftentimes on your test you'll see a test item that asks you to simplify the following expression. Okay, and oftentimes you are required to use both methods, both combining like terms as well as the distributive method to solve the expression. So I'm going to um, perform both operations so that you can see exactly how you should perform the steps when you are combining like terms or you're using the distributive method to simplify an expression. So when we talk about combining like terms, the first thing that you want to do is you want to take note of the terms that are alike. Now, when we talk about what's alike, if you look at this particular expression here, we have 4a minus 3 plus 7 plus 5a. So in this case, you have two terms that are alike. You have 4a here and you have 5a here. You also have two numbers without any variables beside them, okay? And so those two are like 2 because they are without variables. So in this case, the first thing you're going to do is bring your like terms together. So here we have 4a, and this is a positive 4a because there's not a negative sign in front of it. And then you have a positive 5a. Well, now you have two positive terms, and so a positive plus a positive will give us a positive. We're going to add those two terms. 4a plus 5a will give us 9a. And so now we have a negative 3 plus 7, a positive 7. So whenever you have a negative and a positive, you're going to subtract, and then you're going to take the sign of the greater number. So in this case, it's going to be a positive 7. So when we subtract the two numbers, positive 7, negative 3, we get a 4, but we get a positive 4 because 7 is greater than 3, and 7 has a positive in front of it. So that leaves us with a positive 4. So now we have simplified this expression from here to here, and our final expression is 9a plus 4, and we can't do anything with this particular expression because these terms are unalike. Okay?
So the 1 and the 6, and then the 5 and the V.
Okay, so tell me what I need to do. Instruct me.
So I'm doing the positive 1 and the negative 6 together.
Okay, so we'll always start with your variables first, okay? Because they're going to always be in front of your numbers. So that's a helpful tip. So let's
So the
bring out
positive 5 and then the negative 6.
No, what do we have to? We're combining like terms. Remember, that's the first operation we're doing. Combine like terms. Okay, what are our like terms?
The positive 5 and the positive V.
Very good. Now, when you get more experience with this, you don't have to necessarily go through all these steps. But the first thing, since you're not as experienced, you want to bring them together, okay? Bring them to one side so that you know that you're working with this set here. Okay, so we have our positive 5 and our positive V. And what else do we need to bring together?
And the 1 and 6. So that would be a negative 1 and a negative 6. No, there would be a positive 1 and a negative 6.
A positive 1 and a negative 6. Very good. And it doesn't matter how you write these. You could have written this as -6, +1.
Right.
Okay? As long as you make sure that you carry the correct signs where they need to be. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it doesn't matter how you write this. Okay. So our next step, now that we have brought them together, okay, we now need to perform the operation. Okay, so what do we do?
So +5 and +V would be adding. So I'm adding 5 plus 1. That would be 6.
Very good. Very well done. 6 what?
Positive. Oh, V.
Very good. 6B. You don't have to put your positive here because there's no other number before it. Okay?
Right.
So it's already implied. So remember that. Okay, now what else do we need to do to finish up
And
this
then
expression?
we're subtracting 6 minus 1, which is 5. 5V.
We finished with our V's. Don't confuse that. There's not a V in front of these numbers here.
So we'll
So
just do -5.
very good. Why -5?
Because I took the biggest number and took the sign from that number, the 6.
Very well done. That's what you would do. Okay? And so your expression simplified is 6V minus 5.
6V minus 5. Right.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't have to read it as positive 6V minus 5 because it's already implied. So you can just say 6V minus 5. Okay? Very well done. Let's look at another one. And make sure you take a note. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So here's another one. Okay, so just like we looked at simplifying an expression by using the combining like term method, we're now going to look at simplifying an expression by using the distributive property method. So what does that mean? We're actually going to multiply this 3, which is outside of the parenthesis, by each term within the parentheses, okay? And that is the distributive method, okay? As the term says, we're going to take this 3 and we're going to distribute it to each term within the parentheses. Now, we're also utilizing the order of operations. So if you had like terms within the parentheses, you're actually going to combine your like terms first and then use the distributive method, okay? But as you see, we do not have any like terms, okay, because 7b minus 4 are not like terms, okay? And so we're going to go right into the distributive method. So here we're going to multiply 3 times 7b, and then we're going to multiply 3 times -4, okay? So here we have a positive 3 times a positive 7b, and that gives us 21b. And now we're going to multiply 3 times a -4, and that's going to give us -12. So now that we have two unlike terms, 21b minus 12, they're not alike. And so there's nothing else we can do with this expression, okay? So this is our final expression here. And there's nothing else we can do because they are unlike terms.
So AR and positive.
All right,
Okay.
so now we're going to look at number 17. And make sure I'm not losing track of time, and we have a few more minutes. Okay, so now we're going to look at number 17, and we have 2 times 6n plus minus
8.
8. Very good. All right, so now you can instruct me on what we need to do.
So we're doing the 2 times 6n,
Okay?
and then we're doing the 2 times the -8.
And rather than saying it that way, and that's good because that is absolutely correct, what I would do is I will go ahead and perform the operations. So you know that the first thing you'll do, as you mentioned, 2 times 6n, and that will give you what?
12n.
Very good. And then the next one will be 2
2
times
times
negative
8,
n.
it would be negative 16.
Very good. Negative 16. And then the question is, can we do anything further?
No, unlike terms.
Answer is very good. Answer is no, because they're unlike terms. And that's the reason why. And that's why you want to make sure that you're clear on why it is that you can't go any further. Okay?
Right.
Because they're unlike terms. Very well said. All right. So now let's look at another one.
Math ain't so bad now.
Yeah, see? Once you know it, you know it. Okay, so now that we've talked about simplifying an expression by combining like terms, as well as simplifying an expression by utilizing the distributive property, we're actually now going to look at an expression where we actually have to perform both operations, okay? So here we have a negative 3 times, which our parentheses mean to multiply, a positive 1 minus 3x plus 2x. So as you see, we have two terms that are outside of the parentheses. However, the only term that we're going to distribute will be the 3 because it's actually closest to our parentheses, okay? Here, as you see, we have an operational sign. We have a plus here. So we're not going to do that with the 2. We're not going to distribute the 2. The only term we're going to distribute will be our negative 3. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to multiply negative 3 times a positive 1 first, which will give us a negative 3 because we have a negative times a positive, and the rule is that it gets a negative sign. So a negative times a positive is a negative. Now we're going to multiply a negative 3 times a negative 3x. And here we have two negatives. We have a negative times a negative, which is a positive in terms of our rules for multiplication. It will give us a positive 9, because 3 times 3 is 9, x. So now we have gotten rid of our parentheses because we have utilized the distributive property to do that. And now we're going to bring down our positive 2x. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to look for your like terms, okay? So this expression, this is now our second expression. This is where we started, and here is where we are now. However, when you look at this expression here, we have a negative 3 plus 9x plus 2x. So we have two like terms in this expression. We have a positive 9x plus 2x. So we're going to combine these like terms, okay, to simplify them. A positive 9x plus 2x gives us a positive 11x. So we don't have anything in terms of like terms for our negative 3 because we don't have another number up here without a variable. So we're actually going to just bring down our negative 3. So here, this expression reads negative 3 plus 11x. You can also write this as 11x minus 3. It means the same thing. We have a positive 11x here. We have a positive 11x here. We have a negative 3 here, and we have a negative 3 here. And let me just bring it down a little bit so you can see it. Okay? So you may see this on your exam where you're asked to simplify the expression, or you may see a simpler one, as we previously discussed. So this is what we will continue to work on in our math seminar, and we will also integrate some word problems that you will actually see on your exam. So now keep in mind that if you need help with math, you don't just want to um, do the work in your online personal coursework, but you want to make sure that you take advantage of our math seminars as well as our writing seminars. So if you are working on math or you're studying to take the Hiset or GED math exam, you want to make sure that you take advantage of our math seminars. Likewise, if you are studying for your LA writing section of the exam, you want to make sure that you are utilizing our services for essay writing, okay? So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the writing seminars as well as the coaching one-on-one services.